Namaste. Before the main video, we want to show you this short video for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. We performed a simple but yet very elaborate puja after the solar eclipse was over on Sunday, the 21st June 2020. As explained in our earlier video, we are attaching this video to the main video. You can see and enjoy this short video. We have taken care of all the astrological requirement for protection of an individual. We have covered all the 12 Rashis, 9 planets, 27 stars or nakshatras, 4 padas per star, making it a total 108 padas, thus covering the entire universe. We have covered all the 4 kendras, the 3 trikonas, the Artha Trikona, the Panaparas, the Apoklimas, the Upachaya, the Ayusthana, the Marakasthana, the Dusthana, and as well as the Mokshasthana of individual persons falling under the any of the 27 stars. We have also covered all the Chararasis, all the Sthira Rashis, all the Disvabhava Rashis, the Uchasthana and the Nichasthana of each individual planets. With this elaborate covering of the offerings, puja, invoking Mahavatar Babaji, all the 18 Siddhas, all the divinities, all the Gurus, all the forefathers of every individual, the Pitrus, we have been able to cover an elaborate divinities being invoked in this very particular solar eclipse puja. You can see, enjoy, and also get doubly, triply assured that each one of you, wherever you are, in whichever state, whichever country you are, you have been protected. You have been protected in such a way that your children are covered, your parents are covered, your brothers and sisters are covered, your relatives are covered, your parents and parent-in-laws are covered, your grandchildren and grandparents are also covered, all your friends and relatives we have covered. In addition to covering human beings, we have also covered all the Jiva Rashis, that means all the living beings on earth, so that the earth becomes a very universal place for every individual to live amicably, live with assimilation, live with happiness, live with understanding, live with peace and prosperity. All the very best to each and every one of the person who is viewing this particular video. Thank you. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Now enjoy the video. Namaste. Today we will attend to some questions raised by YouTube viewers as well as some people who are in spiritual path. Their questions are very valid, so we will try to find answer for such questions. I have read several books on Mahavatar Babaji and several learned persons. I have been meditating for the past 15 years, almost up to 6:30 in the morning. Every day, invariably, I spend my time in meditation. I feel I am not at all growing. Am I going on the right path, or am I doing any erratic approach? In addition to this, I have also attended several of the discourses here and there. But in spite of all this, I feel that my growth is very limited. In fact, I have not even started my growth. That is my feeling. Am I on the right path, or will it be the same experience for other spiritually pursuing persons? For spiritually pursuing persons and different degrees, we cannot compare the experience of one person with the other person. Each individual experiences are unique in itself. So let us first come out from this kind of comparison. The first and foremost advice, if at all you want take from me, is to bundle all your books and keep it aside. It won't give you any enlightenment. It will not give you any enlightenment. I repeat, with all these books, no doubt you have gained a lot of knowledge. The knowledge is not going to elevate you at all. What you need is the actual knowing. You have studied, you have read, you have gone through several of the discourses, no doubt in it. You have a very rich experience. You yourself confess that none of this has come to your aid in order to elevate you to the spiritual level. That means these are only adding to your knowledge, nothing other than that. With you. I will share an incident with you. About 7 or 8 years back, a person became very thorough, very punctual in attending our yoga classes. Now we don't run any yoga classes. In those days, we were having 2 sessions of yoga classes, yoga asana classes, pranayama, and daily 10-15 minutes I used to give some messages. One day he brought a quote, essence of Bhagavad Gita. He wanted to give it to me. I said, I know it, I don't need this one. Now he forced me and he gave this message in a piece of paper. And subsequently, every time he meets me, he used to take one quote repeatedly. Every day he used to read that quote. And he used to discuss with me how valuable these lessons are, how valuable this essence of Gita is giving us. The essence of Gita was, many of you may be knowing it, still I put it on the slide here. Whatever happened, happened for the good. Whatever is happening for the good. Whatever will happen, also will happen good only. You need not have any regret for the past. You need not worry for the future. The present is happening. What did you lose? You cry about. What did you bring which you think you have lost? What did you produce which you think got destroyed? You did not bring anything. Whatever you have, you received it from here. Whatever you have given from here only. Whatever you took from God. Whatever you gave to Him. You came empty-handed. You will leave empty-handed. Whatever is yours today belonged to someone else yesterday and will belong to someone else the day after tomorrow. You are mistakenly enjoying the thought that this is yours. It is this false happiness that is the cause of your sorrow. This person, at least 2 or 3 days in a week, will take some of these quotes and advise others that nothing is in our hand and we are all governed by the unseen, unknown Almighty. When he gave this gift to me, I told him, you need this more, you keep it with you. But sarcastically he gave to me, sir, you need also, sir, keep it with you. Everybody need it. I said, yes, everybody need it. At this juncture, I don't need it, I know. The days and months went on. He had a property dispute with his own brothers and sisters. A property which he was enjoying was given to him in his marriage as a gift. But there were no documents. The property was in one of his parents' name. That parent had expired. It was under the control of another parent. But the word of mouth, the promise what was given was broken by other relatives, that is their sisters and brothers, because there was a rift between his family, his wife and others. As a result, they came and locked the house, took the property, filed a case, and put a board. Instantly, these people were put on the road. He came running to me. I told him, first and foremost, you go and search for a house. Get into a rented house at least. Don't stay on the road. But he was telling how it could happen. It was given to me. It has been taken away from me. It has been snatched away from my family. What will I do with my son and daughter? How do I manage my family? I will not be in a position to go to a rented house. I cannot afford to pay high rent. I had spent a lot of money in this property for alteration, etc. on the words given by my brothers and sisters. Now they have broken the promise and they are snatching away my properties. I told him, what was belonged to someone belonged to you yesterday. Today it belonged to some other persons. Day after tomorrow it will go to some other person. What is fun in that? He got immediately offended. Husband and wife, both of them got offended. Sir, you are talking philosophy. The point here is, suddenly the gist of Bhagavad Gita, suddenly the message of Bhagavad Gita, suddenly the essence of Bhagavad Gita, which was a practical guide, has become a philosophy for this person. That means the person took it not so seriously, he took it as a philosophy. You need not follow philosophy. The message here is, message given by Lord Krishna is his experience. He has given the message because he lived to that point in that way. He gave a message, he gave a lesson, he gave a speech. He lived to the utmost core of the every speech he uttered. But we take it as a philosophy. From that message, from that essence, what is my experience? Am I experiencing? When it comes to my personal, whether what is my response, or instead of my response, it has become a reaction for this person. So most of the time we bring the quotes of Mahavatar Babaji, message of Mahavatar Babaji. It is not for reading and throwing out. It is a message of Mahavatar Babaji, no doubt. It gives you a knowledge. But what is your experience into that is the main question in spiritual path. Understand? I will take one more small example. A person has sent me a quote about 2 or 3 years back. Every day morning he used to send good morning with some image. That particular day he sent me a message which read, if you keep thinking of all the ways in which others cheated you, fought with you, degraded you, or angered you, your heart will forever be full of hatred. Learn to let go and be happy. Lord Buddha. This message he sent me. He called me around 11 o'clock or 11:30 to convey that his brother's son is not interested in giving his share of property after the demise of his brother, which was purchased before the marriage of this person and his elder brother, who expired in an accident. He said his brother's son and daughter have come to the first floor where he stays and accused him, thrown hatred speeches, vulgar talks, lot of accusation, lot of threatening. With all these things, what do I do? I asked him, is it happened today? He said, no, it did not happen. It happened last week, but I am not able to forget. I said, today morning you have sent me a message. Can you read out that message? He said, I don't know which message I sent you. I sent several messages to several people. Then I said, the message what you sent, I will forward it to you. write down in a piece of paper, and after that call me, then we will discuss. He wrote down this message what I read out to you. He called me. I asked him, you want to be happy or you want to be unhappy? No, I called you, I want to be happy. That is the reason I called you. Whatever the message you have sent, why don't you read again? Because the incident has happened 1 week before. Why you want to carry? If you drop all those things, you will definitely be happy. No, how can I be happy? I said, you only sent the message to me. To this point, he says, you are talking philosophy. So, whenever we share such messages with anybody, for the sake of sharing, for the sake of forwarding, because for that casual time when we read this message, it looks attractive, not for me. Maybe he wanted to advise me. The person who feels that he cannot follow such messages only will forward to others. Think over. You want to give something to others. If you want to give your old shirt to others, because it has become little tight to you, because it has become out of fashion for you, you give it to a poor person. You have purchased a new mobile, the old mobile, because you don't want to use it, you give it to others. That which you do not want to have, we give it to others. The message forwarding also is like that only. You are not able to follow. That is the reason you are sending such good messages. If you are in a spiritual path, please take it from me. Do not forward such messages. You read and follow. Don't send it to any other person. Even today I see the senior most persons are sending me such quotes picked up from here and there. You open Google, you will find hundreds and thousands and lakhs of such messages already available. Why you are taking so much strain to take that, crop it and send it to me? What is the necessity? What is the main essence of this message? What is my experience out of it is the core and center point of the journey wherefrom we start our journey in spiritual. This will enlighten us. Introspect, view this message 2 or 3 times repeatedly. Something will open up to you as a good answer. Thank you. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.